guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Jurassic World Roarivores ANKYLOSAURUS. For the package, you have this really nice open display that actually lets you try the action feature, kind of, and you just push that and you hear the noises and stuff. And then on the back of the package, you've got other figures available in this new Roarivores line, as well as a image showing his action thingy. Also, much like all of these new Jurassic World figures, you can use this toy in conjunction with the Jurassic World Facts app, which allows you to scan the bottom of the animal's foot and get some really cool facts on the actual dinosaur. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the ANKYLOSAURUS or ANKYLOSAURUS open up and out of his package. I'm sure someone is going to tell me that I'm saying it wrong, but I have always called this the ANKYLOSAURUS, so that's what I'm going to call him now. But talk about an amazing creature of evolution. Basically, a little moving tank and a giant-sized armadillo. I mean, he basically has hard bone on the outer section with a whole bunch of spikes. He's got a tail that is super dense, super heavy, that they've said is basically strong enough and hard enough to crack bone. I mean, his head's got bones in the way of like sharp, pointy spikes coming out of him. I mean, this thing is really, really rugged from the top. Now, the only time that I think we saw this, as far as I can remember, in any of the Jurassic movies was Jurassic World, where he basically was killed by the Indominus Rex. And despite all this wonderful armor on the top section, the I-Rex learned that you can flip him over. And on the underside, it's a whole bunch of soft, gooey stuff, which is what they went after. But he's still a really very cool looking beast. Now, standing straight up, measuring the guy from his nose to the back of his tail, looks like about 9.5 inches or so long. And how tall is he? I'm gonna have to move it. About 3.25 inches high, so pretty good size. Let me bring in a few other things to kind of give you an idea. Here we have Alan Grant, who I don't think ever saw the ANKYLOSAURUS in the movie, but I mean, that's a pretty good size, I would imagine. Let's set him kind of there. Let me come back a little bit. Let's bring in a few bigger dinosaurs. I want to bring in some of my favorites because the ANKYLOSAURUS is kind of one of my favorites. Here is Triceratops. So you can see good size with these as well. Both of these are the Roarivores, so you can see that the sizing here works pretty good. That is impressive. And then we have let's just bring in the Stegosaurus. So again, good size with these. I think that the scale works pretty decently, I would say. When you compare them. That's one thing that really has impressed me with all these new Mattel Jurassic figures, is the scaling works really good. Regardless if it's the Roarivores or this one is the action one with like the tail and stuff like that, so it's not the Roarivore lines, it works really well scale wise, and even with the humans it works pretty good. This is one of those ANKYLOSAURUSes that's in the little blind pack, and you can see it's like a little baby, so you can use that with it. So again, the scaling, I feel, works. These ones work pretty decently as like little baby versions of them, so I'm quite happy with the scale for these. Now, as I said, he is part of the new Roarivores line, so what you have is the button right here, which does blend in there fairly decently. You can see the outline of the button a little bit, but it's not bad. But what's nice about this is, much like that Triceratops I showed you, where you push it and his head goes up and he makes the roaring sound, you do have some action features here. So when you push it, you get the sound, but it also springs the tail. Now, you do it over and over again, and you know, it kind of just cycles through the sounds, but listening to the sounds very clearly, you can see that the speakers underneath here, you can hear. That's a really cool sound. So it sounds like there's like 3 sounds basically. So I love that. So you do get that little bit of articulation with the swinging. I want to say that the bottom section here rotates, but I feel like mine is kind of stuck and I don't want to overdo it and snap the tail off. So I'm not certain. If you guys have the Ankylosaurus, let me know if that is actually supposed to rotate, because I'd be curious. Maybe I can just, you know, like put that in a freezer and get that plastic really super stiff enough to the point that I can rotate it and get it to snap. The rest of his articulation is pretty much the same. You can see that the legs are kind of put in a position where he's walking, but it doesn't look all that bad. The legs do move forward and back on both sides here. They can go in and out a little bit, so you can get a little bit wider of a spread with it. You got that same kind of thing with the upper arms forward and back, but you do see that this one is a little bit more forward, which it's not bad, but it also is a little bit looser than the other one, so it does have a tendency to kind of bring down on him with his weight. If you have it balanced well with the rest of the legs, it kind of holds up there pretty good, so you can almost leave that up, and that's, he's balancing himself without that leg on the ground, so I guess that's pretty good. And then the head is on a bit of a ball joint. You get a little bit of left, right, up, down. It can rotate and all that kind of stuff. Great paint detail on here. You can see primarily you got this green and gray going throughout there, a nice lighter green on the outer side, and then as it comes down you get more of it, and then it gets to a darker green for the little broccoli tail. The spikes here, all of them are fairly just generic gray plastic, but they're rubbery, so you don't have to worry about hurting yourself with any of them. All of them are like that from what I can really tell, which is pretty cool. I appreciate that. Don't want to hurt kids or anything like that. Great paint detail with the head. I love how they got a little bit of yellow paint there in his eye. That's really nice. You got the little spikes. Really nice textural detail on the top of his head, giving that very rugged sort of look. Overall, really very nice. And then on the underside, more of the kind of brown. We also do have the Jurassic World Facts app, so we got that. Let's bring this over, get this loading up. Oh wait, I guess I should do this screen share thing again, so let's record that. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, here we go. Launch the app, get that to load. Connect to a network. Well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So we're going to scan the bottom of his foot. Here we go. Have that, and just bring that into the focus, and boom, there is the Ankylosaurus. And again, I love the fact that the coloring matches with what the toy looks like. Really very, very, very nice. Again, I wish you could do a spin on these. I've talked about that before, to get a nice 360 on them. I feel like he's moving around, like when he flips around, you could kind of see it. And I mean, he's not really doing it right now, but when he was doing the flipping, that's way too fast. From my understanding, this guy was very, very slow, like basically the speed of a turtle. Let's take a look at some of the facts here. This top one, the Ankylosaurus, is 32 feet long, larger than an RV. Well, okay. Next one here, she eats as many plants each day as a modern elephant does. And this one here says she has bones growing on her skin, a living armor. So there's that. And that adds to our collection. You can see that's what I got going on here with it. So ending, let's get that done. We don't need to do that anymore. But overall, really great addition to the collection. A fun dinosaur. Mattel is still knocking it out of the park when it get it, you know, the Jurassic Park. They're knocking it out with all of these dinosaurs. I think they're doing an amazing job. And even if they took this and repainted it, I probably would buy several of them. They're typically viewed as being pack animals, and I would definitely want to have several of these. So even if you did have the exact same figure and just repaint it, I think it would work very, very nicely. But that's about it, guys. The new Jurassic World Roarivores ANKYLOSAURUS is available right now at various retailers. Or as always, you can check out places such as Big Bad Toy Store. For that, I'll put a link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the new Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate your support by letting me know simply by hitting that thumbs up button. It actually does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, welcome. And before you go, make sure you subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, now more than ever, it's important to make sure that you're getting those email notifications. We all know just how unreliable that YouTube subscription box is, and the best way to help support my channel and not miss any future reviews of mine is to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And a huge thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this review. Another way that you can really help support my channel is making sure that you watch a video all the way through. And if you did that, thank you. And a huge shout out to all of my patrons who through their continued support help to make reviews like this possible. And finally, remember, the real trouble with the world is too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.